Sometimes all you need is a farm, some crops, and a quiet place to unwind. The Nintendo Switch has tons of farming games, from cozy classics to fantasy-filled adventures. In this video, we're rounding up the best ones worth your time. Let's jump in, and don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy the cozy side of gaming. Sakuna, of Rice and Rune, is one of those games that sounds weird on paper but totally works. Half of it is a side-scrolling action game where you're comboing demons with flashy attacks, and the other half, rice farming. Like actual rice farming. You're tilling soil, planting each seed by hand, managing water levels. Stuff that sounds boring, but it's oddly satisfying. And the better you farm, the stronger you get in combat. It's this weird but cool loop that somehow just clicks. The art style is gorgeous, and the story has this chill but emotional vibe. It's a sleeper hit that mixes action and agriculture in a way that feels totally fresh. Wytchwood might not have your traditional crops and cows, but it taps into the farming vibe in a pretty clever way. You roam a mysterious forest gathering herbs, mushrooms, and magical ingredients to brew potions and craft tools. Instead of planting seeds, you're harvesting from nature and building up your collection of useful items. It's all about careful resource management, exploring for ingredients, and unlocking new recipes that expand your abilities. The storybook visuals and quirky writing give it a unique charm, and the slow-paced gameplay fits perfectly for fans of laid-back sim games. It's farming in spirit, just with a little more spell work. Eastward is one of those games that kind of sneaks up on you. At first, it feels like a quirky little pixel art adventure, but then it starts hitting you with real story, real characters, and some surprisingly emotional moments. You play as this quiet guy with a frying pan, yes really, and a mysterious girl as you travel through a crumbling world. There's cooking, puzzle solving, combat, and a ton of charm packed into every frame. The visuals are insane for pixel art, like every scene looks handcrafted. It's weird, it's funny, it's sad. It's all over the place, but in the best way. Definitely not your typical farming game, but it earns its spot on the list. Kitaria Fables throws you into a world where sword swinging and seed planting go hand in hand. You're a cute cat warrior sent to defend a peaceful village, but when you're not out battling monsters, you're back at your farm growing crops and crafting gear. The farming side is simple but satisfying. You plant, water, harvest, and use what you grow to improve your equipment or make potions. It all feeds directly into the action side of the game, which gives everything you do a purpose. The art style is vibrant, the combat feels smooth, and the farming loop adds a cozy layer to the adventure. If you want something that mixes chill farming with light RPG action, this one hits the spot. Doraemon Story of Seasons is basically a warm hug in game form. It blends the classic farming gameplay of Story of Seasons with the charm of the Doraemon universe. You'll be planting crops, raising animals, fishing, and upgrading your farm, all the stuff you'd expect, but with the added bonus of Doraemon's gadgets to shake things up. The game takes its time, and that's kind of the point. It's slow, relaxing, and filled with small moments that make it feel personal. The art style is hand-drawn and beautiful, and the story has a gentle, wholesome vibe. It's not trying to reinvent anything, just perfect what already works. Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town is a straight-up classic, remade and polished for a new generation. You wake up on a cozy little farm, start planting turnips, and before you know it, you're knee-deep in chickens, cows, and seasonal festivals. It keeps things simple in the best way. No overcomplicated systems, just pure farming bliss. The daily loop is tight. Wake up, water your crops, talk to the townsfolk, maybe go fishing, maybe fall in love. It's that old school charm with just enough modern polish to feel fresh. If you're looking for the purest, most relaxing farming experience on Switch, this is it. First up, Fae Farm. This is one of those games where you start farming and before you know it, you're casting spells and exploring dungeons. It's cozy, colorful, and low-key magical. You plant crops, raise animals, decorate your home, classic stuff, but then boom, you're using magic to clear vines or fight weird creatures. The game has a multiplayer element too, which honestly makes it a lot more fun. The vibes are chill, the art style is cute, and it's one of those games you sink into after a long day. Just don't be surprised if one more in-game day turns into 4 hours. Rune Factory 3. Special is what happens when a farming sim decides to go full-on fantasy RPG. You're planting crops, tending animals, fishing, yeah, all the cozy stuff. But then you're also diving into dungeons, battling monsters, and uncovering secrets about your mysterious past. The cool part? Everything ties together. Farming helps you grow stronger, crafting gets you better gear, and your relationships with the townsfolk open up new opportunities. The pacing is smooth, and there's always something to work toward without overwhelming you. Plus, you can transform into a woolly monster, which is just weirdly great. It's that rare game where farming and adventure actually feel like they belong together. Story of Seasons Pioneers of Olive Town is what you get when you want pure, no-nonsense farming vibes. You inherit your grandpa's old farm, classic setup, and then it's just you, a bunch of overgrown land, and a dream. But what makes this one stand out is how much freedom it gives you. You're literally building the farm from scratch, clearing land, setting up facilities, expanding everything your way. The town itself grows with you too, with new shops, events, and people moving in. It's peaceful, slow-paced, and kind of addicting. There's something nice about just zoning out, planting crops, and slowly watching your little world come to life. Forager is one of those games that starts off super simple. You're just breaking rocks, chopping trees, planting a few things, but before long, you're running a full-on resource empire. It's like a farming game on caffeine. You gather, craft, build, and automate everything until the screen is filled with machines, animals, and flashing lights. Farming here isn't just about crops. It's about managing resources, unlocking tech, and expanding your land piece by piece. The game moves fast, and there's always something new to build or upgrade. It's oddly addictive in a just one more thing kind of way. If you like your farming with a side of chaos, Forager absolutely delivers. Garden Story puts you in the role of a tiny grape. Yeah, seriously, tasked with restoring a broken-down world one vine at a time. It's part farming sim, part community builder, and part action-adventure. You'll be planting crops, repairing buildings, helping out the locals, and slowly bringing life back to a once-thriving island. It's got a relaxed pace, but there's still enough structure to keep you hooked. The visuals are cute as hell, and the music is super chill. Perfect for winding down. Farming might not be super deep here, but it's woven into everything you do. It's about growth in every sense of the word. Now, of course, we've got the usual suspects, the big names, the classics. These are the farming games pretty much every Switch player has at least heard of, but they still deserve a shout out. So here's a rapid-fire rundown of the most well-known titles. Stardew Valley is the kind of game that redefined the farming sim genre. You start with a rundown farm and slowly turn it into whatever you want. Crop paradise, animal haven, or mining empire. There's farming, fishing, dungeon crawling, romance, and even festivals to attend. The pixel art style is charming, but what really hooks you is how personal it all starts to feel. It's the ultimate comfort game, and still unmatched in its depth and replayability. Harvestella blends traditional farming mechanics with full-blown JRPG elements. You're not just planting crops, you're saving the world between harvests. The changing seasons play a big role in the story, especially the mysterious Quietus, a deadly season that threatens all life. Farming is still central, but there's real-time combat, dungeons to explore, and party members to recruit. It's an ambitious mix that feels like Final Fantasy decided to chill out on a farm for a bit. Disney Dreamlight Valley turns cozy life sim mechanics into a magical playground filled with familiar faces. You farm, fish, decorate your home, and complete quests for characters like Mickey, Moana, and Scar. The world evolves as you build relationships and unlock new areas, blending farming with light story progression. It's colorful, relaxing, and packed with nostalgia without feeling like a kids-only game. There's always something new to plant, or someone iconic to help out. Graveyard Keeper takes the farming sim formula and flips it on its head. Instead of crops, you're managing corpses. You run a medieval cemetery, harvest resources, some of them questionable, and expand your operation with alchemy, farming, and even dungeon exploration. The dark humor is constant, and it's way more complex than it first appears. Behind the pixel art is a surprisingly deep crafting and management system. If you're into Stardew Valley but wish it had more skeletons and moral dilemmas, this one's for you. Plantera Deluxe is a super chill idle farming game where you build a garden and let your little blue helpers do the work. You plant fruits, vegetables, raise animals, and expand your land as your ecosystem grows. It's simple, colorful, and kind of addictive in that just one more upgrade way. There's not much story or complexity here, but it nails the cozy, no-stress farming vibe. Perfect for when you want to zone out and watch things grow. Spiritfarer is a game about saying goodbye, but it wraps that emotional journey in a cozy resource management loop. You play as a ferry master for the dead, building and upgrading your boat while farming, cooking, and crafting for the spirits you meet. Farming here isn't the main focus, but it blends beautifully with the nurturing gameplay. It's peaceful, touching, and visually stunning. Definitely one of the most heartfelt games on the Switch. Littlewood asks a fun question. What happens after you've already saved the world? The answer, you settle down, build a town, and start farming. The game strips away combat and focuses entirely on peaceful life sim elements like planting crops, gathering materials, and customizing your village. It's relaxing, low pressure, and full of charm, with a surprising amount of depth beneath its cute visuals. If you want something that's all vibes and zero stress, this one delivers. Animal Crossing New Horizons isn't a farming sim in the traditional sense, but it absolutely scratches that same itch. You're planting trees, growing flowers, decorating your island, and shaping it however you like. The real-time clock and seasonal events make everything feel alive, while the daily tasks keep things cozy and satisfying. It's less about managing a farm and more about building a peaceful life from the ground up. If chill vibes and creative freedom are what you're after, this game's been the gold standard for years. Rune Factory 4 Special blends slice-of-life farming with full-on fantasy action. You manage a farm, plant crops, cook meals, and interact with townspeople, but you're also exploring dungeons, fighting monsters, and uncovering a deeper story. The farming feeds directly into your progression, letting you craft better gear and upgrade your home base. It's packed with charm, from quirky dialogue to romance options that actually matter. If you want a farming game with a bit more edge and adventure, this is one of the best out there.